Good evening, guys. Glad to get it together and spin the block on this video one more time. Happy weekend is Lock Diaries. I'm here with a conversation that's open for the whole YouTube. Everyone, not just women, not just women, not just Lock people, but everyone, kids, elderly, seniors. Everyone can talk about this tonight. This is not just about having dreadlocks. It's about everyone, everyone's hair type. This is loose, natural people, firm, relaxed people, people with afros, people with 4C texture, 1A, 1B, 1C, 3C. Everyone. This is for everyone. So anyone is able to jump up on the conversation tonight where you want to come on the panel, stay in the chat. It's all love. You can relate to everything going on tonight. So how are you guys? Hope all is well. It's been a while since I've been to the chat, with you guys in real time. Let me tone down my music so I don't feel like I'm yelling over the music. Un momento. There we are. So, my first question I want to ask you guys is: does your hair define you? I know that sounds so crazy, so weird. Like, what do you mean? Does my hair define me? Well, just like I said, does your hair define you? If you're watching this live, you can put a message in the chat and let me know at this point in the conversation. Do you think your hair defines you? What do I mean when I say that? What I mean is, if you have not had the hair you had, or if you have the hair you have and then you didn't have it the next day, like would that totally mess up your brain and your mental? Would you be able to be creative and on spontaneous mode to make it work and figure it out within a week, or would it devastate your whole life? That's what I mean. So does your hair define you? So I want to send a special shout out to the Cynical One and to Aretha Tao. I just started a live video and I'm really starting the game, but they were here with me the first few seconds of that live video. So shout out to Aretha Tao and shout out to the Cynical One. For me, I feel like my hair definitely defined me for a good long time, but now I'm in a place in my life where I don't give a poop. Not really, but really. Sorry, not sorry, but I'm over the glamorous, curly, bouncy, straight hair texture that has to be, you know, hot combed, blown dry, deep conditioned so often to keep up the strands and the glossiness, and I'm just over that. You guys know where I'm at, the dreadlock community. That's why this is called Lock Diaries, and I'm sharing my personal stories with you guys tonight to let you guys know how I feel, where I come from, and my vibe on everything. So again, if you catch this in the replay, let me know. Just here to find you. I'll really, really be curious to know that. My next question up for you guys, again, whether you see this when the replay or not, is what is your hair texture like? Thank you for popping back, Cynical. What is your hair texture like? Hair texture comes in various stages. We got people with super straight hair. We got people with really thick hair and straight hair. We have people with really curly hair and straight hair. We have people here with really thin hair, you know, and they just, figure that out. We have people with really, really, really thick hair that's super unmanageable, and they just figure it out. We have people with soft, braided, textured hair. We have people that have hair that's silk like butter or silk, or whatever you may want to call it, But like the cynical one, my hair texture before locks was definitely the type 4 hair as well. I definitely fell into that hair category. I feel like I was beyond a 4C, like a 4E or something like that. But that's where the chart stopped. If you know that chart, guys, that chart pretty much shows you allegedly the various types of textures and how they look. And in my opinion, I feel like they don't really capture every texture, but I guess it does the best it can to try to like show and capture every hair texture. So I'm gonna try to change my avatar. That'll be the easiest, fastest way I can show you guys a picture because StreamYard has changed its settings so much. I can't do any of the things I used to do before. So I'm definitely trying to improvise and be creative right now. So you definitely can't see it in this picture. So I'm gonna just go back to how I was. But there's the super tight, tight curly hair that looks almost like baby doll hair. There's the super straight hair. There's the soft wavy hair. There's so many different textures of hair. This is me at the beginning of my dreadlock journey, how my hair looked really shiny, really straight. It didn't look much like locks at all. Again, very beginning stage of my life journey. It didn't look much like locks at all. This is kind of what my hair looks now, but not really. A different color and different texture altogether. Just showing you guys different variations of my locks. over time. This is the most current, closest to what my hair looks like right about now. But I do have a different color. But back to our previously scheduled program. Textures come in different variations. Again, it comes super curly, pinky, comes super thick coarse, super straight, super fine. A mixture blend of soft and one A's, two B's, three C's, four C's, like the cynical one says. So your hair texture may prevent you from doing certain hairstyles. It may motivate you to do certain hairstyles because if your hair is super thick, you may rely on things to keep your hair out your way. If your hair is super thin, you may rely on things to make your hair look fuller so you don't have to do something to it every day. So your hair texture determines a whole lot about what you're going to do to your hair, how you're going to wear it, often you wash it, dry it, condition it, blow it, moisturize it, get it done professionally, do it yourself. Um, that's definitely going to set up a big precedent in how you manage your hair care and your personal care because I know women and men with super thick hair textures and super thin hair textures, and I see over the years, all the styles they get to, not have to manage their hair as much or disguise, what they don't want it to be evident, whether it's too thick or too thin, or they may have bald spots, or they may have thinning areas or receding hairlines, or all the various things that come with this hair story we all go through. But hair texture is definitely something that motivates most people to, manage it the best way, whether it's a protective hairstyle, which is, them not touching it with a wig, or possibly, a braided hairstyle, or a twisted hairstyle, or, a crocheted hairstyle, or a lace front wig, or a synthetic wig, or, doing a braid out, or a twist out, or, just putting, African hairstyles, box braids, extension cornrows, the list goes on and on and on. But I don't want to go on and on and on about it. But different textured hair, for the most part, I'm trying to say is may motivate what you do to your hair and how you manage your hair and how you care for your hair. So if you have really thick hair, I'm here. I'm here for you, literally. I feel like I definitely had thick hair as a kid. It thinned out as I got older. I feel like it's still thick for the most part, but at the end of the day, it's definitely, manageable for me. Especially now that I have locks, but I'm curious to know the type of hair texture you want to have out there. Shout out to Cynical One for sharing your hair texture. The next thing I want to ask you guys, if you could go back to any hairstyle, what would you go to? Was there a specific hairstyle you loved that was a trend, that was a wave, that was easy to go to, easy to recreate, easy to get someone to do, didn't cost a lot of money, that was your favorite thing to do? To me, it was always a ponytail and a bang. That was always my hairstyle from I'll say elementary school up into high school. That was always the easy hairstyle to go to, because I knew how to do it. I knew I didn't need assistance. I didn't have to pay for the style. There was always someone available to help me get that style. That was my favorite hairstyle: a bang and a ponytail, or a bang in the front, a bang in the back, and a ponytail. That was my go-to hairstyle. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if you catch this conversation in the replay, definitely let me know what was your favorite hairstyle. Were you constantly wearing braids, whether it were plaits or box braids? Do you keep your hair loose, natural, like in a bun and a ponytail for the most part, or two braids? Um, did you do other stuff? Like were you young, having wigs and weaves and extensions in your hair? Like, let me know your story. I'll definitely be interested to know, like, what kind of hairstyle you rock, and let me know as well too. Depending on your age, what was the trending hairstyle at the time. For me, I definitely feel like I grew up in an era where doobies or washing sets were the trending hairstyle for at least 10 years or more. Every girl was going to the Dominicans or the Spanish people getting their hair washed and conditioned with all the smell goods, coming out with the pins, wrapped in their hair like a little beehive cone. And that was the style. It was called the doobie. It used to be as cheap as $10 and most expensive to like maybe $40, $50. And you would wear your hair in that hairstyle, the doobie with those pins until you were ready to take out your hair and wear it into like a nice, all out hairstyle. And that was the wave. Some girls don't even stick out their bobby pins. Like they kept the pins in, got different color pins, got gold pins, rainbow pins, pink pins, blue pins, all kind of color pins, and really wore with as a style. And put other kind of little gems and other kind of little like studs and jewelries, to the hair to just jazz up even more. But that's my era. That's definitely where I come from. Definitely telling my age at this point. Um, and again, during my generation, there were a lot of trending different styles. But I want to ask you guys, what was your most popular hairstyle? For me, I just talked about the doobie hairstyle. want to also mention another hairstyle that I forgot to mention as well. Another hairstyle that was super popular back in my day, when I was younger, before I became a full adult, was the French rolls. A lot of women had the French roll with the little bordery pins and pearls, or like the spray painted, you know, um, air spray, air spray designs on their hair. It was definitely a popular wedding style, a popular sophisticated style. The French roll, that was definitely a big, big style back in my day. But what was the big, big style back in your day? Because we're all from different generations and different backgrounds and different eras. And what my popular hairstyle was, it may not have been the popular hairstyle for your generation. It may have been afros. It may have been frohawks. It may have been mullets. It may have been baldies. It may have been something else. So definitely share your comments, share your information, your experience. I definitely would like to know. Just make sure I'm keeping up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to make sure we're keeping up with the Joneses. So we're definitely paying respect and homage to everybody from every different cultural background to make sure we're not missing anyone at all. Next thing I want to ask you about is, do you have a favorite hair memory? Was there a memory that you've experienced as a, youth, kid, child, adult that's just your favorite memory about your hair? Whether it's a hair goal, a hair accomplishment, um, just appreciating, yourself, your hair for what it is, just having hair, having certain hair texture, a certain hair grade, or a certain hair length, or a certain hair manageability. You were able to pull off and rock for a long period of time. Like, is there any favorite moments like that? Definitely would love to hear about those moments. For me, I think my favorite hair moments was, favorite hair memories and favorite hair moments was pretty much getting to the point where I didn't need my mom to do my hair for me all the time. My mom or my aunt or my cousin or my grandmother. I think that was definitely my favorite hair moment, just knowing that I got this. I don't need my mom or my cousin or my aunties, anybody to do my hair for me. I got this. Welcome back, Irby. So whether it was, me doing, you know, two braids to my hair or one braid to my hair or doing my first perm or, any style I wanted, just knowing that I could do it without the assistance of my mom or my grandma, have waiting for them to be available to me. That was a really, really big deal for me. Like, you know what? I got this. Like, I can do my hair. I'm at that age where I don't need them to do everything for me. Like, I'm gaining some independence. Like, I can manage my own hair. I can do my own hair. Like, I don't need an adult. I am an adult. That was super cool, super, super fun because, again, we all want to be grown and live on our own and do our own thing and move out the house and, run our own rules and regulations in our own house, especially when you become an adult and comes to you and your own personal care, your hygiene and stuff like that. You want to, do what you can do. But my next question up is, did you guys have any hair nightmares in your life? In your experience, from child age to an adult, any hair nightmares, any experiences that went totally, totally wrong, like anything that just was traumatic, and you just cannot forget the memory for whatever reason, and you can't believe you went through it. Like I feel like we all have at least one, and for me, I feel like the hair nightmare I had was pretty much just knowing that I cut all of the hair I had off in the back of my hair at one point by accident, and I had to cut the rest of the hair off because it just looked crazy if I did it. And that definitely was an accident. I didn't think that would happen. I just was trying to be grown and trying to be fast and lost a lot of hair to the point where I had to shave the back of my hair like a short 1990s, haircut that most of the women like Holly Berry and Toni Braxton would wear. And for me, I feel like I did not have the face and look to have that haircut. So that was devastating and traumatic for me because I just feel like I could not pull it off. And I remember wearing a lot of braids during that time. Um, when that hair started going back just to like, disguise the fact that it was super, super short compared to the rest of my hair. So do you guys have any hair nightmares like that or anything similar or more dramatic that you would like to share? Please let me know. Got a comment here in the chat I want to highlight from Irby Vital. He says, when I get haircuts, always get it mostly low fade. My hair grows too fast. So you're a person with a nice braid of hair that your hair grows fast. I was talking earlier about, everyone having different hair follicles and braids and textures and goals and lengths. And you know how certain people have to, sacrifice to get the achieve look they want because of, what they have. Hence, the people that have really, really thick hair and it's too much to deal with, and hence the people that have really, really thin hair and don't have enough hair to fill up the styles they're trying to get the desired look from. So it's like a catch-22. You never know which one you're gonna get. Next I want to ask you guys is, what was the worst hairstyle you ever wore? Did you ever have to go through a period of time where you had to rock a look that wasn't what you wanted, but you had to deal with it for whatever reason? Whether your barber was on vacation or no one who was around to do your hair was able to do your hair, and you were just stuck with this look that you really did not appreciate. Like, is that a realistic thing? Like, did you ever have that experience? I feel like for me, I will take it back to the whole having to cut my hair because I made a mistake and cut my hair by accident, so I had to go through that experience. But there can be so many more experiences. I definitely got burnt on my head by a curling iron trying to curl my bang at one point, and I felt like because of my burnt forehead, I had to wear long bangs until the scab healed and came over my skin to, a light brown mark that I was confident enough to just pull off without having so many people question me about it, because at least it was my complexion versus being a white piece of skin missing from my face. So can you relate to that? Any experiences? Let me know. No, you have nice soft curly hair. That's really good. Like, again, I feel at least with soft curly hair, it doesn't require so much work. But when your hair is thick and kinky and curly, 4C, D, E, F, G, it takes a lot of product, a lot of butters, a lot of oils, a lot of cream, a lot of water, just to be able to manage it to start to even begin to start the style sometimes. And some of us, we have different texture here and different parts of our hair. So the front may be super nice and soft, the middle may be rough and dry and dense. The back may be, a mixture of both. The sides may be brittle and, weak and need TLC. So depending on how your hair texture is, like your whole head definitely determines on, where the hair is the strongest, where it's the weakest, and where you need to do the work, where you need to get the treatments and where you need to, give it some tender loving care. So shout out to Urban for South for having nice soft hair. I feel like my hair was only nice and soft when I came out the womb. After that, when I became old enough to play with chemicals, it definitely switched up on me as I tried to play with chemicals and think I was grown. So going into thinking I was grown, have you guys ever tried to get a relaxer or a perm or any kind of chemical process such as a bleach or a dye or a lift? And was it a DIY experience or did you get it done by a professional? Definitely would love to hear your story about that. I've definitely never tried to dye my hair by myself. I've definitely dyed other people's hair, but I never dyed my own hair before. Only got professional dyes done, personally speaking. But definitely have done relaxers to my hair many times, perms to my hair many times, but never a color or a lift or a bleach or a strip, or a bleach or a lift or like a stripping of my hair. I never tried to do that by myself. But if you had, I definitely would like to know how did that go? What motivated? What color did you do? What was the process like? Any tips and tricks? Any bloopers you would like to share? Anything could help the next person on the same journey trying to do something similar that you would love to share? Please let us know in the chat. In real time, because it's in a replay or whatever you use to contribute to this conversation. We really would appreciate it. My next question up for you guys is, did you guys ever wear braids? Whether it was box braids, cornrows, plaits, or S curls, or flat tops, was that ever a thing you did? Depending on your age and generation, you may have worn a flat top, you may have had an S curl or Jerry curl, or a finger wave, or pineapple crunches, or a bald head, or Caesar, or braids, you may have had all of those styles or some of those styles at some point in your life, and it's fair. I've been through three different transitions from natural to perm relax to, you know, now dreadlocks. That's three different transitions in my entire life, so it happens. We switch up and change things. We get tired, want something different, get in a different headspace, need a different kind of, vibe or energy. We may switch up, how we may move and, want to look and feel, and we want to start anew sometimes. So it's definitely common and not so crazy. So if you had any of those experiences, definitely let me know. I would love to know what you thought about it. Next thing I'm going to talk about is were there any favorite hair care products then back in your time when you were all into your hair? or if you're still into your hair and there was never a time where you weren't, now are there any hair care products that you love, that you go to, that are your thing, that you just feel like life wouldn't be good without those hair care products? Like you just really need to go for those products all the time to make you feel like you're doing a good job giving your hair that tender loving care. Let me know. I always tell you guys about the favorite hair care products I love, and I always scream from the top of my lungs. It's that AFOG two-step protein treatment, and it's that L'Oreal Mega Moisture for colored and bleached and dyed hairs. Those are my go-to products. I love to use shampoos and conditioners that do not have sulfates or parabens, so I'm not adding extra, stress to my hair that's already been bleached and lifted and dyed one or too many times already. So I'm definitely trying to play it super safe when doing that. I actually need to wash my hair like tonight actually as well. So that's definitely something I have to do because I definitely feel that dryness, that heaviness to my hair, and you just know when it's time to just do that. So yeah, it's definitely something I love. Again, the L'Oreal Mega Moisture and the two-step post-treat Apple G two-step treatment. Definitely love that. Definitely had experience at least once. Definitely had a synthetic wig. Definitely had a human hair wig before. Teach his own. I feel like it's definitely something I don't think I would keep up for long or be able to manage it all the time because it's a thing you have to be on top of. You need to be aware of the laces and the gels and all the products to make the hair look really natural. You put the wig on. I'm like, you know what? This is not gonna be for me, but once in a while, a wig that's either synthetic or real that looks really, really nice. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that once in a while, but definitely think I'm not that girl. Definitely don't think I'm that girl at all. But definitely want to drop the link to the chat right now if you guys may want to join in, share your experiences. I'll wait around a few minutes if you want to hit the link, to join. Let me know if you don't have a response to anything I said in real time. And then you want to share your personal experience. That'll be cool to, vibe out with y'all and, see what your perspective is or your experiences on some of the things I mentioned tonight. Yeah, man. But that's how we doing it. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to be walking around with a nice long mane of straight hair with no curls and no kinks. I'm washing out my curls and kinks tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to just have a nice straight mane. And I ain't going to know how to act at all. You know. But it was so good doing this video. I feel like I definitely need to do more long form videos. I need to do more like open discussion videos as well. Wanted to get myself to a point where I was super confident with the content I was recording about all the different things I'm talking about in context, to my viewers and people that subscribe and catching everything I'm watching on their phones, their laptops, at work, on their tablets, their watches, whether they're on their cars or wherever they are. Like I'm definitely loving that. Super big shout outs to everyone outside of the USA that's watching my videos and showing me love. Like any of these people in other countries watching my content. That's super dope. Definitely need to upgrade my plan in StreamYard because there's so many restrictions on how I share my content and do my video, and that's definitely a bug for me. And I don't know another content platform besides Ecamm that I can probably do this kind of content on right now. But I'm gonna figure all that ish out for sure. But thank you guys. Appreciate you. Definitely logging on, shutting this down again. Catch this in the replay. Leave a comment, share my video, like and subscribe. You know the vibe. Peace out. You guys have a great weekend. Love talking to you guys. Love being able to do this quick video. It's been way too long, but thank you. Appreciate you. And I gotta go. One love to you. Until next time, do that thing. Like, share, subscribe. Tell someone about your girl. Signing out, it is Lock Diaries. Have a great weekend, y'all.